Are we recording?
Yep, now we're recording.
Okay, so this is our Willow group, work group meeting again. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
We're just going to go through all of our slides and make sure that we're on the right track and that we put all the right information in our slides. So the slide one for our title page, I think we need to, with our previous assignment, we need to actually have a title, which I don't remember what it was. Does anybody else?
No.
Well, it has to do, well, this one will be a little bit different because we're not doing the opioid.
Yeah, so this is just increasing the scope of practice for nurse practitioners to redo
to improve access to care in rural Kentucky or in underserved areas of Kentucky. We can put the actual title in there, whatever the NA, whatever that title is.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the nurses though. I think it was specific on the population, like the underserved population, right. Access to healthcare.
In the Appalachia area, right? Those counties.
It's not really, it's more eastern and western, so it's not just eastern Kentucky.
We should try and keep it as broad as possible. Yeah. I think versus focusing like on specific counties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll put a title there. We'll do something cool for the title. Need to do on that. I think we should take out the presentation date. Just have our names on there.
Yeah.
And then for the PC 729 parts.
Willow, move my name because my last name actually starts with Jack, so I'm just gonna move me back to the front. For alphabetical order. I'm in there.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, and on the other slide, we don't have to put Frontier Nursing. If we use the other template,
yes,
Frontier Nursing University. So
that's
we don't have university in there, but I would put PC 729.
Okay.
The official name of the class.
Okay. What is this? Is this health policy and leadership? No, that's two separate classes, huh?
I don't even know what this class is called.
Okay, X-nay.
Don't correct me up.
I think it's social.
This class is policy and advocacy.
Health policy
and advocacy. That's correct.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on this page?
Do we need to say Willow group or?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It was Tatiana. It may not be a bad idea to put it on there since that's how she kind of delineated us.
Yeah.
For our grade.
What? Put what? Willow group?
Yeah, underneath, like at the bottom where the date was before, put the Willow group there. Or Willow group.
I'll figure it out. Just give me a second. Okay, so continue. I'll get this together.
Okay, we ready to go to the next slide?
Yep.
All right, this is mine and it's blank. My notes are in here. So this is another reason I hate this template. This is where I was going to put the slide, the map.
Yeah.
The red counties.
Yeah.
And then, do you guys want to read this to you, or do you want to read it, or just the notes that I put in there? Make sure they're all right.
So this is talking about the epidemiology, the population, the geographic area, and the health effects. Is that what that one is?
Later on what I just used the kind of the layout for the slides that I guess Karen did.
Is there any way to just copy and paste them into, or we're going to do that at the end? Put it in.
We're not worried about that. We're just going through and making sure the information's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
and then we'll cut and paste everything in there. I'll do that. I don't care to do that at all.
Okay.
So I emailed her this week. I was going to forward it to you guys, and I totally forgot. I'll do that after our meeting is done. But she said that our topic was good. We just needed to have a health topic that we wanted to talk about. And I told her we were focusing on, what was it? Chronic conditions. And she said we just need to specify which chronic conditions. Let me pull up that email and I'll read it to you guys. Where did it go?
So I said the last paragraph of this, according to KentuckyHealthFacts.org, the state's underserved areas scored lower than other counties in Kentucky and significantly lower than most states in the country in cancer, obesity, diabetes, and all-cause conditions impacting death and disability.
So would that be a preventative healthcare issue? That's the course that I was taking, that I thought we were all doing.
It is, but it's also a social justice issue.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, but I'm saying like for like the solution
totally.
And everything.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And that's all I really spoke on, was just that increasing the access to preventative wellness.
Yeah.
To prevent those chronic diseases and those chronic issues.
Yeah, definitely. And that's
Okay.
the whole moral of the story is people get those things because they don't have proper care.
Right.
To mitigate.
This is what she said in the email, that our social justice issue is access to healthcare in rural areas, and that we need to be clear about what health outcomes are improved with better access to care. And then she said it's easier to focus and to document chronic diseases. And then she said, well, in our opening, to just say chronic diseases and then to talk about the specific ones that we are focusing on. So I mentioned 2 or 3 of them: obesity, hypertension, and diabetes, and she said that was fine.
Perfect. That's all I would have said too.
Like, we don't need to do.
So obesity.
I just picked like the most common ones that everyone seems to have issues with.
Mm-hmm.
Obesity, hypertension, and what?
Diabetes.
Okay. I'll just change the notes then and put some data on there. So just so we're clear and you guys agree, on slide number 2, we're going to have the red and white map.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about explanation of the social justice issue.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, and I kind of, in quotes, this is what in the module it said constituted a social justice issue. I said the limited access to healthcare in Kentucky represents not only a social justice issue as it relates to, quote, overall rates of diseases, incidence, prevalence, morbidity, mortality, or survival rates in the population as compared to the health status of the general population, but it also creates and perpetuates numerous vulnerable populations, including those who are affected by, and then we could say obesity, hypertension, and diabetes.
Okay.
Just to name a few.
Sounds good.
Everybody okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're affected by, I'm going to go ahead and change this word. Obesity, hypertension, AIDS. Anything else for this slide?
No, I think we're good. So that part, that everything we just talked about, covers the issue section. So if you look at the rubric, the first part is the issue. So we need to analyze the problem and why it's a social justice issue. We need to draw on concepts presented in the social justice textbook and the unit, and give an example for each point made. So that, I think we kind of did that, right? With the three chronic diseases. Those are examples. So I think we should get full credit on that part then.
Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Number 3. Who's this at? Hold on.
Number 3?
Number 3, you had D, prepare to analyze.
Where it says argument support on the slide.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm going to the rubric now.
Hold on, because I'm looking. Number 3 says prepare to analyze.
I'm Looking at slide number 3.
Oh, the slides. Okay, sorry.
Slide number 3 says argument support. I wasn't sure what that.
Oh, wasn't that you, Tatiana?
Was it? Because I thought it was number 5, but I didn't know if
Because number 5 on the rubric says support. So choose a solution or solutions who bears the cost of the problem or the theory. Was that yours?
I don't know, because the next slides that are a little further down with the potential solutions, I thought that was what I was doing, and the player analysis.
I couldn't find where, I just glanced at it a little while ago. I couldn't figure out where that came from in the instructions, like what,
Where
like what it means.
Because I think argument support is the social justice issue explained. That's what I was thinking. I thought you were going to elaborate more under that.
So
And I can, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Are we going to keep this slide, or are we just going to keep that on number 2 and talk more?
Do we need to introduce our support for Senate Bill 89 as a
what is it?
2 or in the solution?
Support your argument drawing from at least one chapter from the Kagan, Chin, and Smith textbook. That's the social justice book, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I thought when we spoke about that Karen was saying that she would go through and try to find a point. Like, I remember when we were looking at my PDF, my computer copy.
Okay, what? I'm sorry.
This argument support, the third one, I think that's extra. Because if you're looking at the topics for the slides, we only need one slide that talks about why it's an issue of social justice. And that's the second slide. And then one slide needs to be where you support your argument from the chapters of the Kagan, Chin, and Smith.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be slide number 4, right? I don't know.
Well, no, but that's the same as the.
Yeah, you can take these out. I mean, just edit out what you don't need. I do not have the Kagan book. I have the Milstead book.
Was that the Kagan one that I have? Let me be sure that's the one I have.
Sorry, you guys, I had to step away for a second.
Okay.
What did we decide?
So we're still on that one about the Kagan. We're still on the one about the Kagan. And that, in my understanding, is numbers 3. Yeah, just number 3. Wouldn't that be number 3, or is number 3 just the epidemiology part?
I don't even know.
It's the epidemiology part.
Confusing.
Yeah, let's just take out the argument support.
It is number 3 because it says 3C is find theoretical support for solutions. Isn't that
the
Kagan book? Or is that one that we're doing, the Almale or Alday or whatever that theory is called?
Yeah, if it's all day, if it's a day, is it a days?
Remember, because remember we're looking and you were saying that you would have gotten the copy of the book to do the chapter on the transformation. Let me tell you what chapter
I did not get a copy of that book because I kept with Milstead, but I did go online and print off a day, a day's theory. And, hang on.
I think that's what C is, the theoretical support for solutions. That is a day theory.
Okay.
We looked it up in the module.
Right.
It had a bunch of stuff about that theory, and that was the support for solution.
Okay. So a day's, hold on.
So that's going to be a day's.
Okay, so a day's theory suggests that vulnerability of increased poor or poor health outcomes can be modeled by looking at ethical norms, values, health status, relative risk, resource availability, and policy. This theory looks at the tension between the rights and obligations of individuals versus the community while recognizing the impact it has on each other.
Okay, so that's where the argument support needs to go. That's where the a day theory, how that relates to our project, needs to go in there, right?
Right, but it's still asking for something from this book.
From where?
From this, the the social justice book.
She used a slide in one of her presentations of a day.
Mm-hmm.
That a day's theory, it was like 3 boxes.
Okay. So we will just do both of them then, I guess. Who has the Kagan book?
I have that book on my, on here. If I would have known, then I would have read it. You know what I'm saying? I would have read at least a chapter and tried to understand and write up a part. I just didn't know that I was going to do that part.
Okay. I don't have that book. So
I don't have that book either.
I don't have the book. I just downloaded it.
did you pay for it or was it free?
I don't think I paid for it. It was part of my Kindle Amazon stuff.
Oh.
I don't know. I have so much credits with them. I don't think I paid for it.
Okay. I can do it if it's free, but if I have to pay for it, I don't want to have to buy a book.
I don't blame you, girl. All right. So maybe I'll try to look into the transformations chapter. What time is it? Okay. Maybe I'll try to look into the transformation chapter.
She did a like that webinar thing she did on August 28th. She used a day's model of vulnerability, and it was predictors of population health.
Which is in that chapter, I bet, in one of those chapters. Let's just do that.
Okay.
Let's just do what we already have. Okay, it'll be fine.
Okay. Did somebody already do that? The day stuff?
No, we just did it, basically.
No, I know, but that's okay. Okay.
So we're just gonna say, so on slide number 3, what's it called? Karen, a day's theory?
Yeah, ADAY theory.
Of what?
And it's called a day's model of vulnerability. And she discusses, predictors of population at risk. And her theory suggests that vulnerability or increased risk of poor health outcomes can be modeled by looking at ethical norms and values, health status, relative risk, resource availability, and policy. It looks at the tensions between rights and obligations of the individual versus the community, while recognizing the impact each has on the other.
Perfect. So we can just put that in and just read that word for word. Is that paraphrased or is that?
I can paraphrase it. It came from the abstract from Nursing Economics on Social Detriments of Health.
Okay.
From March to April 2007.
So if you can paraphrase that'd be perfect for our argument.
And put it in the notes section.
Right. And then
I'll just type it down in the bottom of the notes.
Right. Yeah,
Yep.
just do a paraphrase so that way we're
And then make sure it's on the references pages too.
Yep. Okay.
Add some bullet points there. Okay. So we're good with number 3 then?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send you this little picture that I have from there, these 2 pictures. I'll mail them.
I'm going to go back and on each one of these slides, I'm going to put whose it is because that'll be who reads it during the presentation. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and I just wanted to, well, I can do this. I'll tell you guys later. Because our presentation's on Sunday, right?
It's the 16th at 6 p.m.
Oh. So Hurricane Florence or whatever it's called, it's supposed to hit where I'm at Sunday or Saturday. So I may or may not have good service. So hopefully everything will be good.
Yeah, I saw a note that, safety is priority and just to let instructors know if you need to be safe.
Okay.
Are you not in the evacuation zone?
No. So I live in Charlotte, close to Charlotte. So we're not really in the evacuation part. I'm not on the coast. But they're saying that there's supposed to be like strong winds and flooding and stuff in my area.
So what you can do is actually put as much data or as much information to that you would read verbatim in the notes part. And I don't mind reading yours if you don't have service. I could read yours.
Yeah, we should have everything in the notes section, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
we're all ready to go.
All right.
Okay. Number 4. So number 4 and number 5 are the same. Just say one.
So we'll just keep one or the other.
I did this one.
Yeah, that's kind of a repeat. So you could delete that one, David, the one that, because you already have it with your scale, the exact same thing. And I just put that as a spacer because you can have up to three slides on the epidemiology and the rubric.
So I'll elaborate on these and I'll put my references in there too.
Okay.
Population affected are Kentuckians living in underserved counties. Geographic area are the most rural areas of the state. The far eastern and western areas are the most affected. And the health effects are the increased instances of obesity and sequelae, including hypertension, diabetes, and then I can take the other ones off.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So that's the epidemiology part. So we did.
Did we cover everything in the rubric?
Yeah. So we completely presented the epidemiology of the health issue and how it relates to health equity.
We need that too.
And well, it says of the health issue and Will relates it to health equity. So we just need to be able to relate that to a health equity issue.
Okay.
I'm trying to think how we can make that, because we have all the information. We just need to word it. So we're talking about health disparities, right?
Yep. But we need to have 2 articles. We just need to equity. Did I spell that right?
Yeah, with the Y.
In this part, we need to compare
the underserved areas with the irregular population, right? So is this where we're going to find a poor, or not a poor, an underserved, what's it called? Underserved area, and compare that to a very well-served area?
Yeah, that's
we can actually look. Well,
we're like Appalachia versus non-Appalachia, regions of Kentucky. And there was an article I found that said Beyond Healthcare, the role of social detriments in promoting health and health equity, on May 10th of 2018.
Was that for Kentucky or the nation?
No, it was just a general one, but then I was on the Kentucky site, and I also listed it in my references, those Kentucky facts, the local government, in Appalachia, and social detriments of health. From the Department of Health.
Well, if you look at that map that has all the red counties, there's one specific area that is all red, and right in the middle there's a white county. What if we found some data on that county? I can try and see if I can find some.
Are you talking about Hopkins County?
Yeah.
Which is where
that one is not an underserved, it's like a regular county, but it's surrounded by underserved counties.
Right. And the reason probably is because there's a hospital in Hopkins. There's Hopkinsville, which is a decent-sized town that has a hospital.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's awesome. So
I'll try to find some data to compare Hopkins to one of the underserved counties. There's like a million of them to pick from. So I'll try and find data on one of them.
Yeah.
And then I'll write a little short blurb and add it on there.
We should also probably somewhere say something about the fact that, for instance, in Metcalfe County, is that what that is? Right next to Hopkins? Where a nurse practitioner is the only full-time healthcare provider.
Yeah.
And why it would be important for that person to have autonomous practice.
Yeah.
Because you can't order vaccines. You can't prescribe a lot of diabetic shoes. if you don't have your own DEA.
Okay. All right. So maybe that might be a good one then.
Which we can have DEA in Kentucky. We just have to have a collaborative agreement. And that's the only thing we have to have one for, is for DEA. But
so you can practice independently. So let's say you don't have a DEA and you just have your NP license. You don't need a collaborating physician for that?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
But then you can order your syringes or your immunizations or your medications, right, through the pharmacy.
Unless you have a
collaborative agreement for prescriptive authority. That's the only thing you have to have it for.
Oh, okay.
But in order to get a DEA, you have to have prescriptive authority.
Yeah.
And you can't, there's some things in addition to narcotics or scheduled drugs, like diabetic shoes. There's some other durable medical equipment, but you can't order vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a vaccine for that a DEA for that kind of stuff, because it's the for the DEA.
All right. So other than that, I think we're good on the epidemiology. We can have everything for the rubric.
Okay. Ready to go? Next slide.
Yep.
Do I have to keep that slide that says the potential solution, because I just put it on the slide after it?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Whatever, as long as you cover what needs to be done. So we can probably delete number 5.
I deleted it.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't like it just being 2 boxes, but then I don't like these circles either. But I guess once we flip it to the other template, then I could change it up a little bit.
Okay.
But so for the potential solution part, specific population targets, I was thinking we were going on targeting treatment to the appropriate patients. What I kind of mean by that is, how do I say it? Keeping cost in mind. I don't know how to explain that without reading it. So what I have is preventative care is underutilized, resulting in higher spending on complicated and advanced diseases. Increasing access to preventative care by increasing federally funded facilities while keeping costs in mind, fully staffed with ARNPs. Interventions that are targeted to specific patient populations and clinical areas typically have a greater impact on quality improvement and cost containment than using broader approaches. That's where I was going with both of them. That's basically the summary of all the information that I got. The solutions. But for the health inequity reductions, just increasing access to preventative wellness. Did you guys think I needed to elaborate more?
Yeah, because if you look at the rubric for the solutions, it says that you need to include appropriate evidence and theory to support your solutions, and you need to address the health disparities specifically. So our health disparities are the chronic diseases, right? So it would be the diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. So we would need to make sure we talk about those specific problems.
So then I have to put it, hold on, diabetes, hypertension. So I would need to put something
high-risk populations.
I'm sorry?
The high-risk populations of patients who already have hypertension or who are already obese, because they're at higher risk for having the other comorbidities.
Mm-hmm. So I was, so with that, then I guess I'll just find some data that proves that obviously increasing or doing target treatments can help lower the cost of specifically treating those complex diseases, and then preventative care.
And you just got to make sure you talk about each one, because if you just
specifically
throw them all in one pile, she said that's not going to fly.
Oh.
Is what she said in that email.
Oh.
So I would just try and, I mean, I guess if you just talk about each one instead of just saying chronic diseases, but say, you know, hypertension, diabetes, obesity, because they all kind of go hand in hand anyways. And then it said that you needed some kind of theory for that. And it
I
said
think we can still use a days theory for it.
okay.
Because that speaks to exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
I guess potential solutions for a specific population target might be people that have nutritional inequalities because they don't have access to healthy food. So one of the solutions, what would be a solution in a kind of reverse kind of food desert situation could we impact? Maybe
Is that going off a topic though, like off of?
No, it's a potential solution to a health disparity.
Yeah.
Talking about food. Okay. Explain.
One of our issues was obesity. So
Just an example of like, so you could say education and because there's a lack of health resources or healthcare providers, there's no education.
Oh, okay. That's where you're going with it. Okay.
When you go to McDonald's, get the grilled chicken sandwich instead of, 2 Big Macs and a chocolate shake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to grab my cord really quick, guys. My battery's about to die. I'll be right back.
Yes, I think as long as we bring in a days theory into this thing too, into the slide, like a brief little statement about that, we should be okay.
And I also sent you guys that little diagram.
It didn't come very clear at all. Like it
was from her presentation. It's
I tried to look at it, but I can't even like see.
okay.
Well, that's it's in the
I'm going to the modules.
in the module, yeah, because I saw that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's in this first. Yeah, got it.
And then the solutions was how many slides?
One on each solution.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, so I kind of put those two together. Like I didn't feel like they both needed separate sides, but I could do separate sides. Not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters really. As long as we get all the data
And
the information, we should be okay.
So I'll elaborate back on the actual diabetes, hypertension, obesity. And then the next page was the player analysis. And it was the who bears the cost of the problem. And then I started with Medicaid, nonprofit hospitals, and the government. Basically, the nonprofit hospitals end up absorbing the bulk of this care. About 70% of hospitals are nonprofit, and they're expected to provide a community benefit in exchange for tax relief. And the high closures of the hospital because of this aggressive cycle that increases the debt and the loss, and the forcing of forced closures. Who gains from the problems? We're going to talk about the pharmaceutical companies. And the benefits, I don't remember what we said about the benefits. Who benefits from the solution?
I would say it would be those living in the underserved areas, right?
Right.
They're the ones that are going to be having all of this increased access to care. And they're going to hopefully start taking, see advanced practice nurses or whoever their providers start taking their medicines, eating better.
So hopefully their A1Cs for their diabetes would be tighter controlled, blood pressures within the guidelines, and obesity, weight loss,
Yeah.
would be specific, measurable within those communities.
And then I have to go, well, I guess when I talk about the benefits too, I would have to say how they benefit. I have to elaborate like that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I would have to just elaborate, like with the who benefits from the solutions, the underserved population, but I would talk about like how the diabetics would benefit, how the ones with hypertension and obesity, or do I just, can I be?
Just the community.
This is just the community. So the only time we have to specifically talk about each health disparity is in the solutions.
Okay.
So for the players, everyone would basically benefit. It would just be those that live in those underserved areas.
Okay. And then for bearing the cost, are we sticking with, I mean, it should still be federally funded. So are we still going with the government?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who else would pay for it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would go with.
Kentucky, it looked like they had some grants and stuff out there too, so that would be an option.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to put on there.
State grants. I think there was the ARC I came across.
You're gonna favorite that.
We can put that and then put that as a reference. Whatever that grant was called.
Okay.
If you found a specific one.
It came from arc.gov. That website. They talked about grant opportunities under the Appalachian Kentucky.
What was the website?
Just general. It's arc.gov, and it has like fact sheets, key findings in Appalachian Kentucky. And it talked about grants that were available.
Okay. Yeah, so we can just use that and just, because that would be a good option for funding.
They talked about, they kind of related it with substance abuse, mental health and substance abuse. I'll see if I can find specifics that came from that website. Okay.
All right, let me make sure we covered all of that. So the players, we did who bears the cost, who gains from the problem, who benefits from the solution, and who bears the cost of the solution, and that's it. So we got all of that part done up based on the rubric. Okay. Which part is next?
We've already done the player analysis, so then that next slide was before yours was the Milstead. Yeah, after that one, there was just an extra slide. You can delete that.
This one.
Yeah, with the people, we can delete that.
I could put that picture in the other slide.
Or not. All right. So who had the Milstead? Was it you, Karen?
Yeah, it should be in there.
Okay.
I had done a copy and paste, but I couldn't manipulate, so I just recreated it while we were waiting.
Okay.
But it sounds like if you've already got the big map, I don't need to recreate another map on that other side. Or was there something that you wanted me to insert on that slide?
I'm sorry, what map were you talking about?
There was a map I came across earlier today, but it's very much like your red map, so I don't need to put another map in there. So we can clean out that whole side.
Okay.
Those are the mill-step processes, those little bullets. And then I had, I hope it came up. I can't see the slide. If my verbiage isn't at the bottom, I can.
Yeah, it is. There's like a couple paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, I think, at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it just, the Milstead, we framed the whole project through this Milstead process. And then it just, you know, kind of highlighted each one of those bullets.
Okay.
Feel free to edit that, you know, that writing down there. And you'll probably be stating similar comments with your conclusions.
Yeah, so my conclusion was the next part, and we needed to have, it's basically a summary of everything we just did. So it seems kind of repetitive, so I'm not even sure why it needs to be on there. But we need to have the cost and the benefits to the solution and who would bear them, the policy changes that need to be made using the Milstead process, and then how we would approach about implementing and developing the policy.
So that was that policy SB, you know, passing that bill.
Yeah.
Would be the policy change.
Right. So I wrote the cost, which is similar to Tatiana's page that talked about the government and the pharmaceutical companies would benefit those living in the rural underserved areas and those affected by chronic diseases. And then the policy changes, I'll just make a brief summary of the entire Milstead process. Again, I guess. And then this is the last part, what we can do to help make our policy happen. Or not the bill. Well, we can make the bill happen, right?
Right.
So meet with local lobbyists, vote, become involved in the local NP chapter, and then send emails or letters to local legislature. And I think that's the whole part of the conclusion. I don't think I'm missing anything. Because we have how would you approach developing and implementing this policy? And those are all the things that we're going to do at the end. Yeah, I think that's everything. What do you guys think?
I think we're in good shape.
Okay.
Let's talk about, it's due tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow Thursday?
Sure is. It's due tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Oh, it's not midnight?
No, yeah. So that's why I got nervous when we were talking about adding stuff from that other book, because I was like, I don't have time to do that.
I think I'll have some time at work tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll have some too, I think, in the morning, I hope.
And I know I have patients first thing in the morning, but probably from 10 or so, 10 to whenever, I think I'll have time. So, Tatiana and Karen, what do your days look like tomorrow?
I can clear my schedule for that process as well.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, how about?
Well, I'm there 8 to 5, and I see about 30 patients a day, so it's like literally every 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So
it's so hard to do anything.
How about I take what we have? I'll get it done by noon at the very latest. I'll take everything we have, put it in the other template.
Okay.
And then share it.
Okay.
And then you guys can go in and make final tweaks or fix things or do whatever. Would that be enough time for everybody to look at it?
So I'm gonna work on my part like tonight before I go to bed. Like
Perfect.
Same. So I'll keep working away on this. So it looks like I need to find the grant, the ARC grant reference, and also the reference for I'll put I don't have the book, but I have the article, the nursing article for a day.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And then if you use that model out of the module, then you can cite it on yours if you want. For when you reiterate the a days model. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see how I can put that in. I'm not the best with these. Like, I'm not the best with these. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. And then as long as everyone just has in the notes section, like what they're going to be saying verbatim for the most part, I can also go back in and kind of edit the slides so they're not as wordy after everyone's done. Because you took out points last time because we were too wordy in our slides.
Would you do the little, I was trying to make my slide looking like yours in your conclusion. Would you make, I made sure my font was the same size, but the little bullets, you know, the opened aired bullets for my process measure and the outcome measure. Those should be like,
So you tab it. You tab it and it'll bring it over and make it a different bullet.
okay. I tried that and I clicked on the one that I wanted and it didn't.
Okay, let's try to do that now.
Yeah.
Tabs to that.
We can fix it.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't even fix it in this one because if I'm gonna move everything to the new slide, it's gonna get messed up anyways.
I'm sorry. Are you on it now, Karen? What were you trying to do? Because now I put the tabs there. Do you want them both like this?
Let me see. I can't see the slide.
Go to your slides, like in your thing.
Let me stop sharing so you can share.
I'm sure it's fine. I don't.
Well, no, I want you to tell me what.
Well, where do I go? Because I've been watching on the screen. So do I have
go to your own screen?
Oh.
Like at the PowerPoint screen where you can make edits.
Is it on my?
The one where you can add like notes to your document and stuff. Like,
I'm not in a PowerPoint at all. I just see my picture on this.
Tatiana, can you share your screen so she can see what you're talking about?
I'm sure it's fine.
Well, no, I kind of want you to tell me what you want.
I think if I take that other side out, that'll clean it up and I'll have less than 6 bullets, which is the requirement for the Milstead process. And it just states the Milstead process, you know, from.
Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
It's like real microscopic. But I think that looks right. I think that's fine. And just we'll take out the other side. You know how it's the 2 screen. Take out the one, and then it'll just be one clean slide, just with the font on it. I don't think there needs to be anything else on there because I'll be commenting down the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the bullets should just be like 2 or 3 words or something, just to do a general information. And then we're going to be talking a whole lot, and everything that we're going to be saying should be in the notes section.
Yep.
Right. I wasn't going to add any more to that slide. Do I need to add more to the slide? I thought I don't want to make it too wordy.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
All right. I'm having a moment though. Can we go back to the potential solutions? Like, I just don't know how I'm elaborating. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. How am I gonna elaborate on? So the first one, the specific population targets, I would do the ones that we talked about, the 3 that we spoke about, and then it would be on how targeting their treatment specifically would be a solution.
I'm confused about your question.
No, I'm just like, how I'm gonna word this. I don't really.
I thought it was broader for the communities, right?
Just talk about the specific population targets are people in underserved areas with hypertension, obesity, and diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the population target, right?
Right.
You all agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. But then, like, what do you want me to say about them? That's what I was.
What are some specific solutions by? So our goal is to increase access to care. So if we have increased access to care, what kind of things are they going to have? What are obese people going to have that they don't have now that'll help? They'll have education. That's the only one I can think of off the top.
That's the only thing and
that's fine. I think that's fine to have one thing.
One thing is fine, yeah.
People with hypertension are going to have more frequent follow-up and monitoring, and
diabetes,
their medication. And people with diabetes, same thing. They're going to have better access to testing supplies
and education, because you can send them to like diabetic educators, specific places to get a better understanding of their disease.
Yeah.
Nutritional counseling and all that stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's the answer to that question. Do you guys agree?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like not sure like what I was supposed to say about them, but I get it now. Okay.
And
I'm not 1,000. I'm spitballing. That's what I think the answer to that question is. So.
It sounds good.
yeah,
All right,
and
cool.
there's a little blurb in here that it says some of the solutions. It says that does the solution target a vulnerable population? And I would just make sure that we say yes, it does target because it's treating the underserved areas. And then another thing that she wrote on there is, might it reduce a health disparities gap? And it will, because if we're treating all these people with comorbidities, that's going to decrease the health gap because people will be healthier, right?
Mhm.
So I would put that in there because that was part of the instructions in her little thing. And then just talk about one of the theories, the a day theory.
Mhm.
So up under slide number 3, then, is that where I put my a day information under the argument support?
Yes. You read this little paragraph
Yeah.
earlier. And
Yeah.
you're gonna paraphrase that.
Okay.
The model of I can't say that word. Vulnerability.
Yes.
Related to healthcare disparities.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that's where that goes.
Run it into like less than 6 bullets for my argument support, or just
For now, if you want, just write out your paragraph or your verbatim wordage, what you're gonna say. And then if you want, I can look at it and I can just put little blurbs on your actual
on the slide?
yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, that'll work.
Okay. And you can do that for all of yours, Karen, if you want.
Yeah, I've already got, I think, most of it for the Milstead. So you can go in there and edit that.
Okay.
It's in there, or add or whatever for that process. Because you're going to turn around and talk about it in your conclusion as well.
Yeah, because I got to talk about it too. Just a brief conclusion statement about it.
Can you guys still see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to log back in on my phone. That eats your battery up.
Mhm.
And I have no idea where my cord is. I've been so brain dead this week.
Your phone looks good though. Like the clear
Yeah.
is awesome.
Oh my God.
Thank you. It's hard to mess this up.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock at night. Stop it.
9 o'clock.
All right, guys.
Where are you, Tatiana?
Florida.
Oh, what are you? Are you Eastern time?
Mm-hmm.
It's later than 9 o'clock. Girl.
Yeah, it's like 9:46.
Yeah.
It's at 9 o'clock.
I'm like, where are you?
9:46 in Ohio. Oh, so when are we going to group? You said after. Are we going to try to group between like? When does this have to be? By 6?
By 6 tomorrow. I promise.
I'll look at it. I'll look for it after noon.
Yeah,
and if someone needs to reach out to me or whatever, you can call me.
Yep. Just look at it after 12. Make sure that your parts are okay and that you don't see any. Like, check it really good for grammar and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then how about we say that by 5 o'clock, everybody, how about on our group text, everybody text and say, pull the trigger or something like that.
Okay.
Just so that,
Yeah, like go. Yeah.
just so that
I'll
everybody.
take a lunch at 12, so I'll go through it at 12 again.
Yeah, I'll go through around lunchtime too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll finish and put my stuff in, and then that way you can edit my work and delete, and put the brevity up in the slide.
Okay.
Does that sound?
Okay.
And I'll
Yeah.
put the references on the reference page.
Okay. I'll make sure I have it to you guys by noon Eastern time.
Okay.
All right. And then after we turn this in, are we going to meet one more time before we actually present?
I would like to.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. And just
good.
run through it
Yeah.
so that we
Time it.
don't stumble and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Probably still gonna stumble, but okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
No, we're gonna do great.
Yeah, and we're not gonna bust on time. I think there's a time limit.
25 minutes.
We have 25 minutes. We're good.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
Although I don't know, Trina, that 20 minutes to do our final presentation, I was sweating it.
Yeah, I know. Mine was like right at 20 minutes.
I know I couldn't even get to see yours because I had so many babies. Oh my
No,
God.
Oh my gosh, I was so mad because I got in and I signed in and I was like, but it was the wrong number. And then I signed in again and your presentation was over. Is it loaded out there that I could see it or review like your slide content?
I think
I
they're
don't think
gonna put it up, but not till the term is over.
Yeah, it's after
Oh,
the term.
gotcha. So sorry I missed it.
Oh, that's okay.
So then
Great.
the question we had talked about was we have to get in and review 2 other social justice presentations and make a comment. Is that?
No, we actually have to do like a reflection.
Yeah, I don't remember reading that. I don't know. I thought we just reflect on our own project.
No, you have to reflect on other projects.
Oh, I missed that.
Like 2 other ones? So
Yeah, so it says, remember, reflect. This is a separate score. Respond to 2 other team presentations with reflections. It should include new content, nothing that was in the presentation, and should reflect on a social justice or leadership issue. It's a whole paper, y'all.
How many points is this worth?
I don't know, but I probably won't do it. So
I don't think it's a whole paper. It's just, does it say like it has a limit?
no, but there's like points that you have to like.
What part of the module was that you're looking at?
It's in the end of, it's the number like 11, like the last part of the.
Number 11, okay.
So
So then you have to have references and some new evidence and things like that to introduce.
It's worth 5 points, and 5 points is not going to kill you.
It's just a paragraph though, and a reference.
Yeah.
Paragraph.
Yeah, you can knock it out quick. But we can't do that until after people do their presentations.
Right. And they're not going to start till
the 13th,
Yep. Sounds good.
We get at least half of the credit because we had 2 2 substantive contributions to discussion on different days in the course discussion board. Is that us? How we met and we recorded live sessions?
Yep.
Oh.
You get half credit for that.
And it has to be at least an hour. So we've done way over an hour.
Yeah, we have. And that first time before we even recorded was 45 minutes.
Yeah, and then we can record.
I know we didn't, but we
can include our emails too if we need to.
Yes.
And then we can record the next session too when we go through our PowerPoints.
Okay.
Because that should be good too.
Yeah, I think we're
so
good.
If we at least do that, then we have credit for that.
Do we have to do another one? We have 2 live, and then we have all these messages back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good, but we'll record the next one too, just to be safe.
Yeah.
Right. Of our final presentation run through.
And you sent us the link last time, didn't you, Tatiana?
I'm sorry?
You sent us the link for the recording last time, didn't you?
I did, and I can send it again. It's fine.
Oh,
I'll send them all together.
Send them to me again because I think I may have deleted it.
Okay. So
right.
When are we meeting specifically? When are we meeting? I'm sorry.
So our thing is Sunday. I don't know. When do you guys want to meet? Friday, Saturday?
Is it the 13th?
The thing is due the 13th, but our presentation part is on the 16th.
It's the 16th at 6 p.m.
Right.
And that's on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys
think? Are you all going to be partying hard on the 15th? Can we squeeze it on the 15th sometime?
Yeah.
What time on the 15th? Because I will be partying. What time?
Do you guys want to do it in the morning so we can get it over with?
Sure, but not like too early.
Like what time is good for you guys?
10, 11.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's like basically afternoon. Gets up like at 7.
10 o'clock?
Sorry.
All right, so 10?
10 o'clock on the 15th.
Yep.
Okay.
9.
And we're just going to get in, we're going to do our presentation, and we're going to get the hell out.
Yep.
And record it.
Tatiana's she's all about that. She's in charge.
I know. I'll be doing it. I know.
Got it.
Recorded, or are we not recording?
Right now we're still recording. Should I stop?
Still
I
recording.
thought we were going to record, so you got all credit. Is that what you said?
I'm sorry. What?
I think we've already done enough to get credit, but we'll record it just in case, and we'll turn them off.
Okay. That's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna stop broadcasting. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. See you
All right.
Saturday.
Have a
See
good
you.
night.